Today, we are going to learn how to enter data in SPSS. For entering data in SPSS, we are going to use this data named is low birth weight data. And we have the list of variables. We have 5 variables with us: low birth weight, age of the mother in years, race, smoking status of mother, and birth weight in grams. And this is the data of these 5 variables with including the serial number. So when we open the SPSS, we have this kind of sheet. There are 2 sheets basically. One is variable view, the one which is highlighted with yellow color. It is the variable view, and one which is we have another sheet is data view. In data view, we enter the data. Right now, there is no information any information about the variable, so it is a blank sheet. While in variable view, we define the characteristics of variable like name, type, with decimal, and these are different columns. We are going to cover some of these columns which are necessary for entering the data. So first we have to actually look in the data what we have to enter for the name variable, what we have to define in the label variable, and what is required for the values column, etc. So we have in this screen we have list of variable, and we have abbreviation and the data values. So these abbreviation will be used as variable name in the first column, and then for categorical variables we have the variable coding. Like we are not entering the variable values directly in a string form. We are using the coding of the variable. For example, like here, for the first variable, 0 is equal to birth weight more than equal to 2.5 kg, and 1 will be entered as the code of birth weight less than 2.5 kg. And then this description, the low birth weight, age of the mother's, race, smoking status of mother, birth weight in gram, will be the description of the variable name, the full name, and it will be actually entered in the variable label. And this is the data values which will appear in the data view sheet. So if we start entering the data, first we have to name the variable. And let me share one more thing. Here we go. So we have first thing is serial number. Although there are 1, 2, 3 sequence given in the SPSS sheet, but still it is always recommended to enter the serial number. While naming the variable, there are some restrictions in SPSS that we cannot use some of the characters while naming the variable. For example, we cannot use space, we cannot use the slash or any plus minus sign, any characteristic for the variable. For example, if I enter it, let's suppose I'm entering the full name of the variable with space. So when I press enter, it says variable name contains an illegal character, and here I use space as the illegal character. So this is the reason we use the abbreviation for naming the variable. So alternatively, we can use the dot, or we can use the name without any space, and we can use the underscore. For example, for serial number, I am using the dot, S.NO. When I give the name of this variable, so automatically some information appears in other column. In the very second column, they keep the type as numeric, because by default SPSS keeps the type numeric for any variable we enter. And in fact, for most of the time, even if we have the categorical variable, we type as numeric. until we have the name of the data information, or we have the date, for example, in terms of date of birth or something like this. To change the type of variable, so we will click this below button, and we have other type of variable. For example, if I want to enter the date, for example, date of admission, date of birth, then we can use these formats. We have different formats for the date variable. Or if I am giving the name, I am actually entering the name of the patient or something like this, then we can use this string variable, string type of the variable. So right now I'm keeping the type numeric, and this with column is about the character of the variable of the variable which we are going to enter in the data. The decimal points do not have any decimal; these are in whole number. So we will reduce this decimal point to 0. Right now it is 2. We will reduce it to 0. And this is the label column. The full description of the variable name will come here. Like we have now here, we can use any character, any space. I mean, we can enter the full description of the question items. So serial number will be in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are not going to use other column except this measure one. This measure column actually describe the type of variable we have. Like serial number is always in scale. The quantitative variable will go to the scale type, and the categorical variable can be specified as ordinal and nominal variable, whatever we have. So those variables which we are going to enter as which are in numeric form, we will keep them as scale. Second, we have the variable low birth weight and categorical form, and the name of the variable is LBWCAT. So again, the type numeric, and decimal point will be reduced to 0. We can also type 0 also. And the name of this variable is low birth weight. And this time, since this is a categorical variable and we have the value coding of 0 and 1, so there we specify the coding and the description of the variable values. For example, I'm actually telling the SPSS when I will enter the 0 variable, 0 values. So the SPSS should read it as birth weight more than equal to 2.5 kg. This coding is given in my data. 0 is here, and then 1 will be birth weight less than 2.5 kg. I will give the value and the label here, and then I press the add button. Once all the variable coding and the description is done, we will press OK. And since this is of nominal type, we will keep it as a nominal type. Then we have a variable age. The type when entered type is numeric. Age is also in whole number in our data. We will again reduce it to 0. And the description of the age variable is age of the mother in years. Age of mother in years. And this the variable does not have any values because it is a continuous variable, but it has the type of scale. Then we have another variable, race, and race has also 0 decimal place, and race is name is the race only. And we have the category coding for the variable race. It is a categorical variable also. and we have 1 is equal to white and 2 is equal to black. So 1, when I enter 1, I want SPSS to read it as white. And when I enter 2, when I enter the data values as 2, I want SPSS to read it as black. Okay. And the type is nominal. It is a nominal variable. Then we have smoke. Smoke is also like categorical variable, and its a full description is smoking status of mother. And the variable values are 1 is yes, add, 0 is no, add, okay. And then we have the last variable birth weight, which is also a numeric type, and this time we are keeping the decimal as 2 because we have the values as 2.08. There are 2 decimal after the point in the birth weight, and 2.19 and something like this. And the description of this variable is birth weight in grams, and the type is scale for this one. Since we have 6 variables in our data set, so and there are no more variables, so we will start entering the data now. For entering the data, we will have to use the sheet data view. In the data view, now you can see there are names of the variable which we enter in the name column, and we will start now entering the data. Like we have 8 observations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then the low birth weight underscore cat. So I'm using this worksheet for entering the data, and we have 1, 1, first 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. And age we have 19, 22, 27, 29, 30, 34, 22, and 14. And race we have first 5 are 1, and the last 3 are 2, which means the black. Smoking status 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and birth weight are 2.08, 2.19, 2.99, 3.65, 3.8, 1.14, 3.32, and 2.5. This is how we enter the data in SPSS. To toggle between the variable coding and variable values, we have in the toolbar we have this third last button, so we can see the variable value for the categorical variable by toggling this. Press this, you will get the variable values which we have entered, which we enter in the variable values in the data in the variable view sheet. And the actual value which we enter, when we enter, we make it inactive, and we have the variable values here. So before closing the data set, always save the data. We have 3 options. Either we can use file and go to save button, or we can press Control plus S, or we have this disk button, the second icon. This second icon in the toolbar where when it is not saved, this is in blue color. When you saved it, it will turn into a gray disk. For example, I click it, and let's suppose I save the data. It will ask you where to save the data. It is upon you, where you want to save this data set. Let's suppose I'm saving it is in the same, and I name it as LBW, low birth weight, and I wanted to save it on my desktop, for example. It's absolutely on you where you want to save it. So in the desktop, LBW, and I will click save. And you can also, this is the output sheet, and it is saying that your file is saved in this destination. So we are not going to save this output file at this moment because we do not have any results. The output file is used when we do the analysis and we have to save the result outcome of our analysis. But this data sheet is saved now. This gray, the second icon is now turned into a gray. It means our last work which we have done is saved now. So this is about the SPSS, how to enter the data in SPSS. You can ask any question in the comment.